Om Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Murmu. Master took the dust from the place where the kirtan had been sung and touched it to his forehead. The whole thing reveals how sanctifying is the name of God. Even the place, even the dust of the feet of the people who sing, who dance in ecstasy of God, has the highest place in this universe. Because it is direct manifestation of the divine, where a man forgets his own bodily existence in singing the names of glories of God. Nothing beyond that. The whole universe looks like a small, useless matter. But for God, even man, if God is not with him, he is a mass of anguish and lonely creature in this world, uncared for. The God's presence in his heart, he knows or not, is making him alive in this universe. If he doesn't, if he is not in tune with the divine, then he will be a neglected creature in this universe for himself, not for others. He is becoming lonely, uncared for, like an orphan in this universe, full of anguish all the time. Only strength of absolute nirliptata, the limitless joy and peace, is possible when he remains in tune with the divine and transcends the nature. When he transcends the nature, he is in eternal bliss. So, how Sri Ramakrishna is explaining this practically by taking the feet dust of the people who danced and sang and placing it on the forehead. A little later, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the semicircular porch facing the Ganges, the devotees sitting by his side. Now and then the master would exclaim, "Ah, Krishna Chaitanya." There is a footnote, one of the names of Gauranga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, one of his name is Krishna Chaitanya. Actually, Chaitanya is consciousness, Krishna consciousness. He used to remain always in the Krishna consciousness. So he is called Krishna Chaitanya also. Master too, Vijay and others. There has been much chanting of the God's name in this room. That's why the atmosphere has become so intense. How do you know? The moment you enter into that room, only that awareness dawns in your mind. All the samskaras and what all it contained, the mind gets simply dropped off. The past, the present and the future goes to the lowest deep depths of the mind, and only divine awareness is there. Mind is just watching with all the senses. Not under the vasanas, not under the samskaras. There is no individual will. That's a sign it is filled with the spiritual vibrations. So intense. That's why the atmosphere has become so intense. Bhavnath, words of renunciation too. What has been sung, God's name, is adding, Bhavnath is adding words of renunciation too. The words of renunciation, Tyaga, that words of renunciation, God name is something I am holding to climb. Renunciation is what I am getting released from the world. I am holding the world and left the God. Now I have to leave the world and hold on to God. Leaving the world is Tyaga, renunciation. Holding on the God is the love of God, longing. Name, most important is the name. We do not know the Vyakti now. We know him by name. Nama Namni Abheda, it becomes later on. That is why the atmosphere so, Bhavnath is adding it, so atmosphere is so powerful, intense because of the words of renunciation too. Master said, how thrilling. Then he sang about Gauranga and Nityananda. Gora bestows the nectar of prema. Premamrita he is giving. Jar after jar, he pours it out, and still there is no end. Akshaya. Sweetest Nitai is summoning all. Beloved Gora bids them come. Shantipur is the almost drowned, and Nadia is flooded with prem. Love. He is to remain in ecstatic state of love. This love he is experiencing and radiating makes all other raise to a higher level of consciousness. They also are dancing, singing, praying. All things are happening. As anything that induces. If an angry man comes before you and starts shouting at you, immediately you get angry. How that is inducing anger in you. Similarly, prema. When prema, ecstatic love of God, he turns to the God and is in ecstasy, that induces a kind of ecstatic tendency in you, because the same inner stuff is there in everyone. The hesitation, the limitation that we have put upon ourselves restricts a little, but at some time all the bonds break and the inner divinity emerges out. Master to Vijay and others, the musicians sang rightly. A sannyasi must not look at a woman. This is the sannyasi's dharma. What a lofty ideal. Vijay, yes sir. In fact, before, especially in our order, the sannyasa is given after 9 years of brahmacharya, where he transcends his own manhood and no more woman remains in the external world. That is the ideal. He no more sees. As long as man is inside a person, he sees the woman outside. As long as woman is inside a woman, she sees man outside. Man-woman differences, gender differences becomes an important factor in their lives. When the inner man is destroyed, outer woman disappears. Only Divine Mother is there. Every woman is a manifestation of Divine Mother. This is the ideal which the Ramakrishna tradition has presented to take up the sannyasa life. Vijay, yes sir, master. Others learn from the sannyasi's example. That's why such a strict rule are prescribed, master is telling. A sannyasi must not look even at the portrait of woman as long as he is aware of his manhood and womanhood outside. A strict rule: the slaughtering of a black goat is prescribed for the worship of Divine Mother, but the goat with even a slight wound cannot be offered. A sannyasi must not only not have intercourse with a woman, he cannot even talk to her. This is when sannyasa is taken up. Those who do not have control over their bodily existence, tanu, mana, mind is not under control. And his physical, intellect and mind is one. And heart, there is no purity of heart, purity of mind and purity of body. Still, he is on the path. He has renounced the world formally, but the world he is carrying inside yet. Then he is given tridandi. 3 sticks are given to show to the public that I don't have anything control. The heart is expressing through vak. Vang Nirodha is one of the first important disciplines of a yati. So there is the vak, he can tell anything, bad words can come out of his mouth. That is what he feels. Heart is identified with vak always. Vak is not under control, mind is not under control, body is not control. One by one, from bodily control, the bodily demands decrease. Then the 2 other things will remain. Bodily when it decreases, the 2 other. Then 1 stick, Guru asks him to renounce. Now your body is under your control, so you can leave the one of the danda visarjana will be there. Then when mind comes under control, before that vak will come under control. He talks only holy words, holy things, blessings. That state he can renounce the other danda also. Guru asks, now you never think of bad. Your things, words are always sweet and divine. You can renounce the 2nd stick also. So 2nd stick also he renounces. Finally, his mind is purified. He no more sees man and woman in this world. The heart is pure, has become totally pure, and mind reflects purity. It catches only Bhadram karnevi shrunuyama devaha, Bhadram pashyema akshibhi yajatraha. It will be seeing only Bhadra, good. It cannot see any more bad. It cannot see a woman anymore. It cannot see a man. It sees a divine beings moving about in his presence. He himself is divine and sees divine everywhere. As long as we are bodies, we see body. When the body identity goes off, inner light shines forth. Jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuyasam. That Jyoti Rupa is his only Jyotis outside. Then he can denounce, he is called Paramahamsavastha. Then all the 3 dandas go away. The Gerva he was wearing, the sannyasi's dress, also drops off. He is in Paramahamsavastha. Sometimes without clothes is Digambara. Sometimes whatever clothes is available he puts on. Sometimes he wears a langoti, a loin cloth, and moves about. As his awareness changes, but never it slips down to the normal human consciousness again. Vijay, young Haridas talked with a pious woman. For that reason, Chaitanya banished him from his presence. Master, a sannyasi associated with woman and gold, like a beautiful damsel with bad odor. The odor makes her beauty useless. This once in buses, one person was stinking badly, just like perfume. There is a stinking material, like a smell you get, dead dogs and all in the street, you cannot smell it. That kind of. A man climbed over in the bus, a very long ago, in 60s or 70s early, and he was stinking. Because of the rush in the bus, he doesn't want anybody to come near him and press him. In fact, he had some problem. His blood will not stop, clot. Yes, a board also was put on his back. Still the pressure, one bus comes means hundreds of people try to enter into. If anybody steps on his foot, it starts bleeding. And blood will never stop. He will not even know it's bleeding. And he faints. So he was using. Later on we came to know about him. But how that stinking, maybe beautiful body, if it is stinking, how it will be. People run away from that stinking smell. Yes, indeed. Master, a sannyasi associated with woman and gold is like a beautiful damsel with bad odor. The odor makes her beauty useless. Once a Marwari devotee wanted to give me some money from woman is gold, coming to the gold. Mathur wanted to deed some land, but I could not accept either. The rules for the life of sannyasi is very strict indeed. If a man takes the garb of a sannyasi, he must act exactly like one. Have not you noticed in the theatre that the man who takes the part of a king acts like a king, and the man who takes the part of a minister acts like a minister? Whatever, even in acting, they behave that way. They cannot be but that. But on attaining the state of Paramahamsa, one becomes like a child. This is the most important part. One day or the other, all these niyamas are there, rules and regulations, restrictions are there, only to transcend the nature. Internal nature, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, ahankara, raga, dvesha, all those demons are within. And till they die, till they are destroyed, till they are conquered, till we grow beyond them, we have to, then the Paramahamsa comes. He is like a child. He is not bound by any of the three gunas. There is no kama bhavana. There is no krodha bhavana. Like a child 5 years old does not even know the difference between a man and a woman. This is exactly what happens. Just one spiritual experience, real, genuine spiritual experience, one. The first one itself breaks the body identity. The spiritual awakening. You are entering, turning inward, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya. 3 sheets you cross over, entering into Vijnanamaya. First you will see the light of Chaitanya. The identity of the Deha Bhava goes off. From Deha Bhava, you go to Atma, Jiva Bhava. I am the transmigratory soul, no more this body. When the identity of the body breaks, I am man, I am woman will go away. Imagine crossing the Vijnanamaya, crossing the Anandamaya also, and knowing the Atman. No duality touches him again. He cannot see any duality at all. One homogeneous existence, Ananda Sachidananda. But a Paramahamsa must be careful so that he does not set a bad example to others. In Vidyaranya's Jivan Mukti Viveka, he asked this question. If a enlightened soul, Jivan Mukta, is not bound by karma, is Jivan Mukta. He kills someone also, it will not affect him. If he gives life to someone also, it doesn't affect him. He is beyond karma because he doesn't have body identity at all. He has transcended all. Yet, Vidyaranya says, if an enlightened person, a Jivan Mukta can behave as he wants, then what is the difference between a dog and an enlightened soul? If he never transcends the laws of nature, he doesn't transcend the social codes. For the sake of others, it doesn't affect him, but for the sake of others, he will not keep a step against the social codes. Referring to Keshav's association with woman and gold, which had hindered his work as spiritual teacher, Sri Ramakrishna said to Vijay, do you understand? Vijay said, yes, sir. Master, he could not achieve very much because he wanted to satisfy both God and the world. We cannot have two at a time. Master, he could not achieve very much because he wanted to satisfy both God and the world. Vijay, Chaitanya said to Nityananda, Nitai, I shall not be able to do the people any good unless I renounce the world. All will imitate me and want to lead a life of a householder. No one will try to direct his whole mind to the lotus feet of God, renouncing the woman and gold. If he enters into the world, all will start. There is no harm, it looks like that. Entering household life is not bad, but attachments to anything, possessions, the ego that presents, I possess, I am this, I am. Ego is what is destroying a man. Master, yes, Chaitanya Deva renounced the world to set an example to mankind. The sannyasi must renounce woman and gold for his own welfare, even if he is unattached and consequently not in danger. Still, in order to set an example to others, he must keep the woman and gold, should not keep the woman and gold near him. The sannyasi, the man of renunciation, is world teacher. In Bhagavad Gita also Sri Krishna says how the Shrestha moves, all people will follow him. It is his example that awakens the spiritual consciousness of man. It was nearly dusk. The devotees saluted the master and took their leave. You see how much things. First is acceptance of the ideal. I have to realize God, that ideal, and whole thing, our lifestyle, our mental setup, our bodily identity. No more, a sadhaka will never identify with the old personality. He has changed. When he takes up the path of God, I am a devotee, I am a sadhaka, I am a manager, I have a household, I have this, I have that, never comes into picture. In his awareness, only two things will be shining. I am the child of God, I have to go back home. This return to home is the most important part. We have parted from our home and our eternal parents long back. We do not know how many lives we have taken, maybe millions of lives. But we have to go back to the source. Everyone, one day or the other, realizes this. Oh, how long I left my home. I am wandering here in this strange world for a drop of love, and ocean of love belongs to me. I am aspiring for small physical enjoyments and sense pleasures. And this one, how it is hurting. And I have to go back home where my own people are there. I am in a foreign land. This understanding slowly dawns in every heart and occupies it, possesses it, and slowly it makes man drive. He takes up the step, the second step of becoming a sadhaka. First, the acceptance of the ideal and yielding it to that ideal and taking up the path, beginning to walk, climb up the steps. So this is the stages we are passing to the last rung, where only ecstatic love for the divine and blessing and love for this world alone remains. So the advice to actor is coming to an end now. This chapter, we will be entering the next chapter in the next class. That will be Festival at Surendra's House. The chapter 23 we are entering in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.